and you get that really great announcement. So anyway, there you go. So welcome, welcome. So as we get started, just want to go over what we're going to do today. We're going to go over the co-host duties, and then we're going to practice everything. It's very hands-on, and we're going to practice, and we want you to feel comfortable when you leave this session. And I really appreciate everybody here. The training team has been amazing. Tom Hunter Pratt, master creator. I don't know what we would do without him. As I like to say, we wouldn't have virtual training without Tom Hunter. So if you are co-leading a training and you are acting as the Zoom co-host, whether you do it during half the training or if you all are doing multiple trainings and one does one or one does the other, just whatever you all work out, your duties would be include, but not limited to, admitting folks into the meeting, pasting links and documents into the chat box, monitoring the chat box for any questions or comments or anyone in distress, responding to any questions or Zoom issues that may come into the chat box, and operating breakout rooms. So I like to say that when I'm getting ready to co-host a training personally, I like to have a little mise en place. All of my things ready to go before the training begins. And what I like to have is, many of you are familiar with our moderator notes. And I think, Jamie, you might have been the first one to come up with this to taking the slides. And then if there's a little activity by that slide, we put the instructions for the moderator host. So we've taken her idea and made it sort of our policy to have these kind of moderator notes. And I am going through right now and sort of standardizing them a little bit. So if you're getting a Dropbox from me, if that's a topic that you're responsible for, we'll Dropbox with the moderator notes, and just so that you have everything in one place. So I like to have my moderator notes in a paper form because I'm 60 years old and I still use paper sometimes. And then I also have them in my electronic form on my desktop. And then any documents that I'm going to paste, some of our trainings, especially the lessons from Introduction to School Nutrition Leadership, our forecasting, the procurement of foods, and financial management for managers, they have some documents that we paste into the chat box. So since they are not getting the written materials, that's a way that they can have the handouts during the training. And we're going to go over where all of that is. So first, I just wanted to show you, I'm going to share my screen, and I want to share, and I think I sent these to you. So can you all see, this is just an example of the workplace safety moderator notes. And this is one of our simpler sessions. So as you can see, what we are doing is when a slide is shown, if there's an activity that the co-host, the person that's supporting the trainer, needs to do, there it is. So the first thing, we paste the following information into the chat box. So just, cut and paste it into the chat box. So if any of you all would like to practice doing that, you can. But before that, let me stop share just a second. I do want to say, does everybody, and just here, and then I try to put a little yellow highlight anytime we have a breakout room. And the time, that's what we estimate the time. You all may change that when you're actually in the training. So I have 3 things that you would do. You'd either paste information into a chat box, attach a document, or get ready for a breakout room. So if you see any of these moderator notes and you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Does anyone have any questions about those before I pull them down? Okay.
Lisa, I have a question. So I have the moderator notes, and I would put that on, I would open that on my desktop so that when I share it, everybody else won't be seeing my screen? Because I thought that if I shared it, that everybody would see it.
You're not going to share that. That I just shared that with you so you could see it. You wouldn't
Okay.
share the moderator notes. You just want to have it up, ready
Okay.
to go. Now, Tom Hunter laughs at me when I talk about my views, and he can share any information that's better than me. So when I am co-hosting, I have a certain way I like to look at things. You all do whatever is most comfortable for you. But when I get on a training, when I get in, I pull up, the first thing I do is I go to my toolbar, I pull up the participant list and the chat box. I want them up and going. Then I do that first because it's easier for me to change my views at that time. So, and then anytime anything changes in a meeting, you'll go from regular screen to, if anyone starts sharing, it will change your view. So you just want to be mindful of that. So I pull up both of those, and then I go to the view at the top, and I exit full screen. So if I don't have it on full screen, if I'm only on one computer, I can see like the documents that I have ready to go. So that's my tip. That's what has worked for me. I don't know if the training team has any other little tips that they use when they're doing that, but that way. And I like an electronic form because I use that. So because one thing that you'll do is paste those links to the pre-assessment and the post-assessment and the evaluation. I go ahead and put those links in my little document, my little electronic document. So it's different every time. And that way I have those links. So when that QR code is shown, you can go ahead and paste those links into the chat box. Does that make sense? And if anybody wants to, well, look, Debbie, y'all are already practicing. See, I'm not even monitoring the chat box. So you all have got, and Amy's having some camera issues. I'm sorry, Amy. But you can see what you can see what we're doing. All right. Somebody says, I'm having internet issues. They're going to try to log off and try again. So that must be Amy. All right. So is everybody comfortable with pasting links into the chat box? That's something that you would be doing during the training. Okay, so I wanted to ask a question. Did some of y'all see my little messages in the waiting room when you were waiting for me? Okay, good. You know, we just send those messages. We never know if anyone sees them. So I was hoping that you all would see them. So in the chat box, if before the meeting starts, if you'll go to the little menu, you can click on everyone in the meeting. And if there is anyone in the chat, if there is anyone in the waiting room, you will see a message to everyone in the waiting room, and you can send that message. Now, if you're sitting in the waiting room a long time, you may see a lot of messages because when someone new comes into the waiting room, they don't see the messages that you posted. So wait a minute, is that somebody in the waiting room? Y'all, real quickly.
I got it. I already did it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Anyway.
Well, let me leave Lisa, and then when I come back, they can admit me.
Okay. Well, I wasn't ready to admit. I was just going to show them that little chat box thing.
Okay.
Anyway, and we can go over that, whoever's helping you start the meeting. But if you want to send a message, especially these people, I don't really send a lot of messages now, but if someone is like there an hour and, we turn that meeting on an hour early and someone's there, I like to let them know, hey, you just want to let them know so that they don't think they're there at the wrong time. That kind of thing. And you can send one every time you want to, but that's just what we have been doing. So, all right. Any questions about that? I'm marking this off my list. So, one thing that some of our more recent virtual trainings that have been developed by our education and training staff, they require us to paste documents into the chat box. So if you're not familiar with this, if you go to the chat box, you see the to button to everyone. You go over to the right, you see a little piece of paper. If you click on that, that's how you attach a document. So if you click on that little piece of paper, you'll see Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Box, SharePoint, and your computer. So if you have any documents that you need to paste into that chat box, you would save them. I save them on my desktop so I can I have a little folder for every training that I'm going to be co-hosting, and I have all the handouts so I don't have to go to, we have a lot of shared folders and everything. So I keep it handy. And so that is where I post any documents. So if you would like to click on that piece of paper, and if you have any documents on your computer that you want to practice pasting, Jamie's pasted SMART goals. So just go to that little piece of paper. Laura's got it.
Lisa, are all of these PDFs or some of them Word documents?
Most of them are PDFs, but sometimes we have one training, what is it, Margaret? Food production. So we have some little templates that are in a Word form that we do paste. Sometimes it likes Word documents, sometimes it doesn't. Isn't that right?
I was also wondering if people have a harder time with Word documents if they're on a phone.
They do. This is not, just to be honest with you, this isn't my favorite thing that we do, but it is something that we do. And it has worked out. One thing that we do, our policy is that we do send a link, or if it's most of these trainings that they're posting, Christine, this is from, we have our week-long introduction to school nutrition leadership. We are offering them as standalone lessons, little virtual standalone lessons. So they have some handouts. So what we always do when people are coming to the session, we send them the full resource, and we say it would be great if you could print it. So they do have that opportunity. So far, it's worked out better than I thought it would. But yes, sometimes it is hard. It's hard when they're on their phone. I agree. But anyway, they have actually handled it better. What have y'all had any issues, Erica, Margaret, Bill?
Phone always has issues. I mean, it's a bottom of the pole to of devices.
Well,
but they do like on templates. They like the Word documents so they can revise them to their facility. If it's a checklist, and then they can put their logo on top. So that's why we started doing
production records, some service line diagrams. Yeah. And actually, Margaret's first one that did that, because we were doing PDFs and people on one of our sessions said, oh, we sure would like these in a Word document. So anyway, all right. Is everybody fairly comfortable with pasting a document into the chat box?
Quick question, Lisa.
Yes.
When they download the chat at the very end of the meeting, for example, when they can download all the little chat, would it also download all of these attached documents?
I don't know.
No, because they have to click to download the document. And once they click to download the document, the blue circle with the white arrow changes to green circle with a white check, and it saves it to their downloads folder on their machine. So if they don't download the document, then it does not save.
Okay.
And Jamie, when you save a chat, it's like all text. It's not. It's not real nice. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not organized or anything. And that's the only other thing I'd say, to be sure when you use the chat, to say, if you want it to go to everyone, make sure it's everyone. Because if you and the other trainer are kind of texting each other at the beginning, let's say, like you do this part and I'll do that, and then you want to send something to everybody and you forget to put it to everybody, you're just back and forth, nobody gets it. So that's, I have noticed that you have to make sure where it says to, that you really want it to go to. And when you do save the chat, I believe that used to, Tom Hunter will know, but it used to even show the personal chats. Like if you and Lisa were chatting among each other, it does show up.
I think maybe only the host gets the personal chat. So you do want to just be mindful of, you want to say, what was so-and-so thinking when they put on that purple dress with the yellow flowers on it today? You don't want to say anything like that, because it's written, and then you might accidentally send it to everybody. Just those kind of things, just fun things to remember. And I have Jamie, was that the only question you had? All right. Speaking of reactions in Jamie's hand, don't lower your hand, Jamie. Don't lower your hand. All right. So let's go down to the one thing too. Let's go down to the bottom of the screen and you see reactions with the little happy face on it. So if you click that, depends on what updates you have. Our sessions, ICN sessions, our reactions are limited to the check mark, the X, go slower, go faster. We have a new one with a little coffee cup if someone's going to be away, and then the raise hand. Tom Hunter, I say we, I don't know how to do that. Tom Hunter disabled some of our reactions like the hand clap, because sometimes people would get mixed up between the hand clap and the raise hand. So, and we like the raise hand because it brings everyone's tile to the top of the screen.
But
so
the emojis disappear too. They disappear after 10 seconds automatically.
That's right. Yeah. So, but these stay. So if everyone could click an emoji, we're going to practice this several times. Just click any emoji. So one thing as a co-host, there are several, no one knows how to lower their hand. No one knows how to clear their emojis. So, especially there are several activities where the trainer will list, say a statement, it'll be true and false, and they come one right after another. So you want to be able to clear everything between those activities. So if you go to the bottom of someone already cleared them. So everybody do a reaction again. Do reaction again. We're going to do this a bunch of times. So if you're and whoever is clearing it, I'm impressed that you can do it, but just give me a minute and let me show everybody. So if you go down to the very bottom of the chat box, you'll see invite, mute all, and then you're going to see maybe 3 little dots or the word more. Click on that. You have different options, and you go to the very bottom and you can clear all feedback. One time I locked the meeting. So see that locked meeting? Hey, Tom Hunter, I did this. I never told you this. I locked someone out of a meeting. They couldn't get in. I think you've helped me fix that. So anyway, I've done that too. Nobody died. They got back in the meeting because I got Tom Hunter involved. So you can just clear all feedback. So if you all want to practice it, I'll just keep pushing your reactions, and you all practice that as long as you're comfortable.
Lisa, I'm not seeing where that's at.
And Lisa, you said chat box, you meant participants.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Okay.
I meant that. Thank you, Margaret. At the bottom, it's at the top of my chat box. It's the bottom of the participant list. And if you go all the way to the right, you'll either see 3 dots or the word more.
So if I don't have that, Lisa, does that mean I need to update my computer again?
So,
no, also I have is invite.
all right, you don't have a button to the right that says mute all, and then another button that has dots or the word more on it.
Nope.
Lisa, I don't have it either.
All right. Y'all don't?
Mm-mm. Mine just says invite and
Wait.
mute me.
Let me make sure y'all are both, because Amy, I don't have you as a co-host.
Okay, well, no wonder. No, it's
Ha-ha.
your fault, Lisa.
It is. It usually is. Lynette, let me make sure I have you as a co-host. I do have you as a co-host. Amy,
I
tell
only-
me. Okay. If you
I
go to
only
the,
show invite.
huh?
I do
Make
have
her a
that now.
host and see if she has it. Amy, do you have it now?
I do
Amy
have
has it now.
Okay, I'm looking at the bottom of participants. I'm going to the 3 dots,
Uh-huh.
and I've got ask all to unmute, mute participants upon entry.
I don't have it either. Well, that's because no one has a reaction. You have to have a reaction actually up. Don't anybody, y'all let Lynette see it. Don't anybody clear it. Now go to those dots.
There
You have
it
to have
is.
reactions to actually be able to clear them.
And the very bottom says clear all feedback.
Mhm.
Good. Okay.
And I don't have it.
Oh,
Let me put up my reaction again. It's gone.
I
But I'm
cleared
saying
it.
I don't have the option to clear. Also have it is the option to invite.
That's the first time that's happened. Tom Hunter's probably stepped away. So we're going to put that in a parking lot, Lynette. So,
Okay.
and then we'll see, he may have to take you, he might have to take you in a private breakout room. And you may
Okay.
need to update. All right. So if you can see that, is everyone comfortable with that? Being able to clear all feedback. Okay.
Hey, Lisa, raise your hand and see if Lynette can lower your hand by your picture, by your video block. Or
Yeah. Go to my picture and you should see mute and maybe 3 dots.
Nope. I see a mute. I see 3 dots. Now I
Next
can lower your hand.
Mm-hmm.
good.
So if
Lisa,
I
what
go
do you
up to-
see next to my name?
So if I go up to the
Mute
picture,
and
the
3
pictures, I can
dots.
lower hands.
But I can't, there's nothing to lower or undo your reaction, Laura, because you don't have anything up. But I see you mute and then 3
Okay,
dots.
so I put something. Okay, because I put a message in the chat. I don't have the raised hand. All I have is the clapping hands and the thumbs up and down.
Probably
and
you need
it
to-
shows
You may
that
need to,
I'm
okay. All right.
yeah, so
you-
I'll update.
Okay. You may need
I'll
to
update later.
Now I can give you all a link and y'all can go and update now. And then it takes just a few minutes. What do y'all want to do that? I have the Zoom link here.
Do we have to sign off
Yeah.
and sign
Yep.
back in?
Yep. But you know what? I'm right here. I'll let anybody back in that gets off. And we'll practice letting people in. All right. So if anybody doesn't see everything, my only suggestion would be to click that. When you click that, it'll prompt you and it will take you out of the meeting and let you update and come back. And the rest of us can take a little break if y'all want to. Grab a cup of coffee, run across the hall. If you
Do you
all,
mind if I'm remedial and ask you to repeat something?
not at all. I'm here.
Okay.
You're not
I-
remedial.
I'm trying to write notes, but I'm put one note in the wrong spot. So when you talked about sending messages to participants in the waiting room,
Mhm.
can you go over that quickly for me?
So when it's just, so you see the 2 and the everyone, the only way I'll show you when someone comes back into the waiting room, I'll show you what that looks like. Because we'll have, so nobody admit anybody from the waiting room until I have had a chance to show everybody. Does anyone else have any other questions while we're waiting for our friends to update? Okay. I like to mark everything off my list.
I'm finding it interesting. I haven't left this meeting and I've got a Zoom window open.
I don't know.
So
Are you
I don't know if
trying
it's
to-
updating or not.
Are you trying to update? If you click on that file, the download starts. You have to click on the file to start the installer. So depending on what
Okay.
browser you use, so if you use Firefox, then your downloads show up in the top right-hand corner. There's a down arrow there. If you're in Chrome, the file will show up in the bottom left-hand corner.
Okay, well, it probably didn't do what it was supposed to. So, but I have a very weak satellite connection.
So Laura, as
So,
long as you can see
I'll
everything,
give it
you,
another shot.
I was going to say, as long as you can see everything, you can give that a minute. And we're getting a little feedback from you. All right.
That's me. Sorry.
Oh, turn on your video.
Aww,
That's
precious.
Parker.
You read my mind because I was
Look
going to
how-
ask for a picture. I wanted to see what he looked like.
He is
Oh,
so, I haven't seen him in a while, Tom Hunter. Hi.
Hi.
He's getting big for sure.
Hi.
Oh, look at him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he knows how to wave now.
Oh, golly. That's just a mini TH there.
You wave?
Laura, I put you on mute because maybe it's somebody else. I thought that was yours. Maybe it's Tom Hunter. All right. So fun fact, one thing I've also done in my many trainings, I have muted the speaker when they're talking. Sometimes when you're up there navigating, maybe making somebody a co-host, maybe let's say somebody left the meeting, one of your partner. All right, hey, nobody do anything. See, Lynette? All right, so Trish, if you want to send a message to the chat box, to the waiting room, you go to the chat box, you click on there, and if someone is in the waiting room, you have the option to say everyone in the waiting room. So if you want to send a message to Lynette, you can, and they'll get it. All right. Okay. Before, I don't want to make Lynette wait too long. So you all heard that little doorbell when she came in. So I don't know how comfortable everyone is with admitting people into a meeting, but that is one thing that you'll need to do as a co-host. So is anyone comfortable besides Margaret, Erica, or Bill in admitting Lynette into the waiting room? You just go to her name, hover your mouse over, you see admit. When you have a whole bunch of people, you have admit all. So if someone wants to admit Lynette, go right ahead. We're going to send other people out to get the chance. So, all right, who did that? Way to go, y'all. And if more than one of you admit her, that's okay. She's going to get in. All right, there's Laura. Somebody want to let Laura in?
Hey, Lisa, I have a question real quick.
Yes.
On mine, I'm seeing a message right beside my waiting room. So can you just click on that message and
Yes.
send a message that way as well?
I'm sorry.
So when I have someone in the waiting room,
Yeah.
I see the participant waiting.
Uh-huh.
Above mine, it says message, as if it's like I could send them a direct message that way versus the chat. Is that an option?
Sure.
I don't know if anybody else sees that when you have somebody in the waiting room. I'm seeing it on mine.
Nope, that's new. But it's new all the time. It's new all the time. So
I saw it too.
Did you see it too? So I don't know. I've never practiced it that way, so I don't know if that's an option.
Sometimes I'll get a message when I'm all on one screen, I'll get one saying Lynette Rock is in the waiting room and you could admit them. And I guess there is an option to send a message. I've never done it because it's just like I just automatically hit that button. So does anyone?
Lisa,
Yes.
you need to make me a co-host again.
Sorry. And I need to make Lynette a co-host too.
No.
Thank you.
Can you show us how to do that?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. But I can only do it as the host, and that is one of our activities. So when you come into the meeting, and so when you come in and we're here, whoever's the host is going to automatically make you a co-host. Only the host can change someone's status. So I'm going to let you all practice. And the reason you may need to do that is if Debbie, you and Trish are training together and Trish gets knocked off, she's going to come back. And since she is not an alternate host, you're going to have to make her a co-host. So that's something you'll have to do. So the way to do that and then Debbie, I'm going to let you go first. Debbie. All right. So you go up to the participant list. There are two ways to do it. I just automatically go to the participant list. I think you can go to someone's tile as well. I think. Let me see, Debbie. Yes, you can either go to their picture or you can go to their name in the participant list. And Debbie, I'm going to make you the host. Okay. There's a lot of power in that. So don't let it go to your head. Now, Debbie, as the host, at the bottom right-hand corner, you did see the word leave. Now you see the word end meeting.
Okay.
So as the host, you can end the meeting. I've accidentally done that. But I started it back up. Everybody got on. I got excited because I need to tell my husband something. So anyway, however, Debbie, if you and Trish are co-training and you're the host, you get knocked off for some reason, that is not going to cut off the meeting. It will automatically make Trish Mouser a host. And
Okay.
so so that there is that. So you don't have to worry. Don't feel that pressure. So Debbie, I need for you to make me the host again. So go to my tile, to my three little dots, or to my name, and you should see that make me a host.
You should be host again.
Okay, now I'm going to make you a co-host, and your name moved down to the bottom of my screen. Okay, so Trish, I'm going to make you a host. Oops, your name. Well, I'm going to make you by the picture. That's really actually easier. I'm going to make you a host. All right, Trish, now you can see where you can end the meeting, and you can see, so if you would make me the host, you can either go to my picture or to my name, make me the host, and I'm going to make you a co-host. Jamie Stamey, giving you the host. All right.
I am all powerful now.
You are. You can do whatever you need to do. If you want to end this meeting, go right ahead.
I'm sending margaritas to everyone.
Bread pudding. So
hey,
you could make me the host.
Okay. So run that by me one more time.
You can either go to my picture.
Okay.
Or my name, and the little, you should either see more or three little dots, and you have a little drop down. And that's the same thing. You can see that she could have made me a co-host as well.
Make the host. There you are.
All right. And I'm going to make
Lost
Jamie.
my power.
That's okay, Jamie. You always have power. You always have power. Okay. Cynthia Winbush, I see you next. So
all right.
Here you go. I'm going to make you. Oh, actually, Jamie, I was making you the host. Hang on. I'm having trouble relinquishing your power. Okay. All right, Cynthia. I'm going to make you the host.
Okay.
All right. Cynthia, you should see that you can end the meeting. So if you'll go to my tile, my picture, to the right-hand corner, push those little dots or the more, whatever it says, and then you should have a drop down. You can make me a co-host or a host, but if you could make me the host, that would move things faster.
Make you the host.
All right. Okay. This may seem silly, but it does. People have seemed to enjoy doing this. All right. So Amy, I'm going to make you the host. All right. You should see that you could end the meeting at the bottom right-hand corner. And if you could go to my picture or my name and make me the host.
Mine's saying having a problem. Mine says having a problem. Do you want to change the host to okay, mine was having an issue. Okay. Should be
okay, got it. All right. Let me make you the co-host so I don't forget. Yes. All right. Christine. Gonna make you the host. And I'll just leave Christine as the host. But if you could just make me a co-host or something. Thank you. All righty. And Lynette, gonna make you the host. All right. You should see the bottom right-hand corner. It says end.
Yep.
And there you go. You can end the meeting. So if you'll go up to my tile or my picture, click those dots or a more button. I bet Parker could do this now, Tom Hunter. All right. Parker will be co-hosting meetings before I ever get to see him in person. All right, Laura, I'm going to make you the host. And if you could make me the host.
Okay. Okay.
All righty. Anytime you want to practice that, just call us up and we'll do a Zoom meeting and help you with that. Is everybody pretty comfortable with that? Okay. Is everybody pretty comfortable with admitting people into the meeting? All right.
Yes.
Great. All right. One more thing. We've been doing this in some trainings, but not in all of them. So talking about annotate. And boy, howdy, people love to annotate. Trish Master, I've been telling this story. So Trish had a training and people, we gave them the opportunity to annotate using stamps. And so it was, I can't remember what they liked about something and everything. So then we cleared the screen. Every time Trish would say something they liked, they put a heart up there. It was like being in church. People saying amen every time she said something they agreed with. And then when she put up her QR code, they put hearts all around it. They put heart for the evaluation of the training. They put hearts around it. She was saying, don't put it in the QR code. Don't put it in the QR code. But anyway, so people love annotate. So I'm gonna share. Let's see. A really terrific icebreaker is the map. You can put up a map and then people can, you can ask them to put a star where they're from. So to use annotate, and the only time this annotate toolbar shows up is when you're sharing something. So I learned that. I don't remember what we were doing. So if you go to the top of your screen, you should see a button that says view, not at the top right hand, but the top center. And then you pull down, you should see an annotate toolbar. Does everybody see that? So, when you see the annotate toolbar, you see some options. Pardon?
I don't.
You don't see it. So at the top of your screen.
No, I'm right. Okay, very top. Okay, where it's actually,
Center.
it says you're sharing your screen. Okay. View options. Okay, there I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Next,
in the
next to the
center.
green, next to the green thing that says you were sharing your screen.
Right.
I
So,
don't see it.
Thank you.
can everyone
see
see it? You don't see
I'm
it?
not fine. No.
At the
Some
top,
of the Okay,
top of your
go ahead.
screen in the center. There's
Uh-huh.
what is it? I don't have my screen up. Margaret or Erica, what does it say at the center of the screen that they click on? It says, it's a black button that says
View options.
View options.
You want
Black
Yeah.
button that says view options. It's in
A
the
drop
center.
down.
And then you hover over it and the little toolbar drop down.
And
Okay,
then
so
click
what am
annotate.
And then you see the word annotate.
All mine says is fit to window and original size. That's all it says for the drop down.
Oh,
In the very center?
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
It says view options. It just says when I hit the drop down, it says fit to window, and then it says original size, and that's it.
You kind of have to just
It-
do your
are you
mouse over
clicking?
it.
Across from it says you are viewing Lisa Rogers' screen.
And then there's a little button.
That's the. Yeah.
There's a little red
Maybe
box.
it's different
Are
on
you-
yours.
Are
I
you
had to
watching
find.
Are you watching from a web browser?
Yes.
That's the problem.
Really?
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So she just clicked on the link and she can't see that?
Well, she's not watching from the Zoom desktop client. She's watching. She's connected to the meeting from a browser, and so that option's not there.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Okay.
I connect from a browser sometimes. I don't know.
No, I mean the Zoom meeting you're running is in the browser itself.
Okay. All right. Cynthia, we can work on this together sometime. So if you see some options, you see text, and then there's a little stamp button. If you hover over it, you see a star and a heart. So several of you all have already put your stars and hearts and everything. So I'm going to put Tennessee. All right. So everybody sees that. As a co-host or the presenter, one thing that you want to be sure to do is clear your annotations between screens, because if you don't, when you move to the next slide, it will still show up there on the slide. So if you go to almost to the very right, you'll see a little trash can with the word clear. So you can clear all drawings, clear my drawings, or clear viewers' drawings. So you just want to be sure. That's one thing we try to do as co-hosts. And the presenters who are familiar with it are pretty good about clearing their own. But if you see them moving to the next screen and they haven't cleared, you want to go to that trash can and say clear all drawings. Is everybody comfortable?
Lisa, if we're the co-host, do we see the clear all viewers? Because when I hover over clear, I only see all drawings and my drawings.
Yeah.
I don't have that third choice.
Sorry, that's probably because I'm a presenter and I've never used that. I'm not even sure what it is. Just ignore what I'm saying. Just do clear all drawings, clear my drawings. So if you want to clear your own, but you can, and then people can also use that text feature. So if you click on there, and sometimes we have found this is easier than using a whiteboard. You can put a blank slide in. And so if you want people to type on here using the annotate, you can do that. So if you want to practice, if you go to text and you type on there, you should see a little dotted bar, and then just click your mouse and then it shows up. If you all want to practice that. All right, Lynette says, yeah. Now, one thing as a presenter, if you're sharing a screen with Annotate, you do have the opportunity to, I don't say that, where you can hide their names. If you have something, but I don't. But as a person, as a regular, okay, let's see. And you can save this as well. You can save it as a JPEG or a PNG file or a PDF. And if you want to save it for later, you can save it on your desktop. Any questions? All right. And then if somebody wants to clear all those drawings, they can. See? That's fun. All right. Is everybody comfortable with that? All right,
Lisa, I know I've seen this map before, but I'm not sure where I've filed it. Can you put this in the chat so we can save it?
Sure. I can. I have to remember what it's called. Okay, I found it. I couldn't remember what I called it. Oh, and fun fact, if I have everyone in the waiting room pulled up instead of everyone, I can't send a file. Now I have my little file folder back. Just a fun fact. Let's see. I can put that. Let me find it for you. What I called it. Just a second. We'll see if it goes in because it's just a PowerPoint slide. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Cool beans. Ha ha. Isn't it amazing what we can do? All right. We've gone over annotate, clear annotate. All right. Our next topic is going to be breakout rooms, which are the most fun. But before we go to breakout rooms, does anyone have any questions? Anyone want to add anything? ICN staff, anything I've forgotten? Any tips?
Lisa, you might discuss this later, but as far as the introduction to Zoom, are we doing that? Is there a template that we're following?
Great question. And I needed to go over that. So you have a couple of options. We kind of talked this out. So Tom Hunter has created a terrific video that we can send you the MP3 of, and you can share that video as the Zoom tutorial. We do send, but if it's an ICN sponsored training, we do send a link to everyone with that tutorial link on it. So we send them your bio in an email, and we also send the link to the Zoom tutorial. So they are going to get it. I'm glad you asked that because I want to talk about your bio too. So they are going to get that information prior to the training. So if you want to show the video, you can. If you're comfortable with some of the features that you know they're going to be using in your session, you could do a quick little, just a quick little tutorial through the features. It's up to you. So whatever you feel like would make you most comfortable prior to the training. Did that answer your question? Did that help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Talking about real quick, I'm so glad you said that. The bios, we do send out bios before, and we get on and we talk about everything. We welcome you. We introduce you. We are thinking that since they already have the bio, y'all could just introduce yourselves prior to the training. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. But that's a good question. So, and I'm going to Dropbox everyone the MP3 video after maybe today, maybe Monday, but I'll get it to you. Any other?
Does anyone know if you had people in the waiting room, like you say, they check in early? If you direct message them the link to that, would they be able to watch that?
I have done that before. Waiting? You certainly can. I've done that before. Okay. I did that early on. I've gotten a little lazy, but I did do that early on. I don't know. I should ask people, hey, when you were in the waiting room, did you watch that video? I never did. We were too straight, so, but that's a good point. You can do that. I'll send you the link to the video as well. Any other questions? Does anybody need a break prior to breakout rooms? Okay. So, Tom Hunter, did I leave anything out? Did Parker tell you I left anything out that I need to go over?
I don't know. I heard some people had some questions, and I had he had my attention there. So
Lisa, didn't somebody have something that you put on the back burner a little bit ago?
I did.
So a couple of things I did hear though, with Cynthia's issue, what I meant is when you click on the Zoom link, it gives you an option to either run it in the desktop client or connect from a browser. And if you connect from a browser and open the meeting up in Chrome or Firefox or whatever, you're not going to have the same meeting controls and features as you would in the desktop client. So that's one thing. And the second thing is if you clicked on the link to update Zoom, that link just sends you directly to their download page, and it automatically starts downloading the Zoom file for the desktop client. So you still have to go to your downloads folder and double click on it to run it and install it. But that's the direct link to run that download.
But she said she could still see like the breakout rooms and stuff at the bottom. That's just interesting with the annotate. Who knows?
I've thought about disabling that, but it could be a catch-22 because we want all the consultants and trainers, at least, we definitely want you connecting through the desktop client to be able to use all the Zoom features. But with attendees, it's best if they connect through the desktop client. Now, if they cannot connect to the desktop client, then the web browser is really the only option, unless they're using their cell phone or something like that. So.
And when we have the annotate activities, all of y'all know some people can't do it, and then we just invite them to put the information into the chat box. So anyway, All right. Breakout rooms. This has always caused our particular team the most angst because when we first started doing this, as you know, if you were with us in the beginning, we had breakout Bill Berry. And I'm telling you, we first did this, Kristen and Jamie, we have like 5 ICN staff on there. I mean, we had a team. And as we were learning, and Tom Hunter would usually stay on with us. And so I would just do the links and, so we've really grown, and we're just so appreciative of everybody. But our team, we didn't do breakout rooms till, I think the first time I ever did a breakout room was on a Saturday with Nancy Christensen. It was her first time to train. I opened the breakout room. You know what I did? I put the trainer right into the breakout room. Poor Nancy, she just got her presentation up. I sent her out into a breakout room. But you know what? She didn't die. And I just closed that breakout room and brought her back. And I said, I accidentally put Cynthia in a breakout room. And then we did it again. So just be nice to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You don't like that breakout room you just opened, close it back and reopen it. So that's just learn. I want you all to learn from my mistakes. So about to give you all some instructions. And I know some of you all know what you're doing. So if you don't move to the next step until I ask you, just so we can all be together. And if you do move to the next step and open a breakout room, nobody's going to die and we'll just start over. So that is okay. So okay. So hopefully now everyone, they go to the bottom of their screen, they see either breakout rooms or you see the more button, and you see the word breakout rooms. So when you see that, click on breakout rooms. Okay. And hopefully when you clicked on that, you should see a screen that says create and then a little square breakout rooms. Do you all see that? And you have the choice. And if you don't see it, hit the button recreate. I think somebody may have started some breakout rooms. I don't know. Hit the button recreate till you get to the screen that says create a number of breakout rooms. You should have a selection that says assign automatically, assign manually, let participants choose a room. Does everybody see that?
I only have a recreate.
Hit the recreate button. And you should come to that screen.
I still keep coming back. They're already assigned.
All right. So at the bottom, it doesn't say recreate. And then you say.
And I say yes. And now I come to recreate, assign automatically, assign manually.
Okay, that's right. Stay right there. Don't move. You're in the right screen. Everybody should see the same thing. Don't move. Don't breathe. Okay. All right. So you have 3 options when you're creating breakout rooms. We never let people choose their own room.
Mm-hmm.
You can, there's no law, but we don't do it because that just, I don't know. All right. Assign automatically, assign manually. We typically assign automatically. We have found that's the easiest way for us. So I would like for you all, where it says create, I want you to choose 2 breakout rooms. And I want you to click assign automatically. And I want you to hit the button that says either recreate or create, but don't do anything after the next screen. So just hit recreate or create. And everyone, so we all right now can do our own breakout rooms. Once a room is opened, that room will stay, but we can redo it. We're all going to practice. But when you are doing breakout rooms for a meeting, whatever you do, once it's launched, it will stay, but you can recreate it and change it any way you want to, okay? But typically, once we create a breakout room, we typically keep it that way for the training. Okay, so hopefully you all see a screen that says room 1 with a list of names, room 2 with a list of names. All right. You don't want your training partner in a breakout room, but if you accidentally put them in a breakout room, you can close them or they can just stay there. It's okay. But if you're the host and they're a co-host, you may accidentally put them in. So if you see, let's look at room 1. You see the word room 1. If you go all the way to the right, you should see a blue number. And I think it should have 6 people in it. So click your mouse. When your mouse turns into a hand, click on that number. And you're going to see everyone who's in that room, and they have a blue check mark by their name. So and I'm not sure in yours if it's room 1 or room 2, but I want you to take Margaret Schaff out of a breakout room. Take Margaret out. So you all see that, how to do that. So it's easy peasy. Margaret's not in a breakout room now. Now, you see, in order to remove people or put them into a breakout room, you use that little blue number before the rooms are created. So you can practice and you can room 2. So you can also move people or exchange them. The way you do that is you go down to the center, and if you click center of the name, it turns blue, and then you should see a note that says move to or exchange. So I want you all to find Bill Berry, and I want you to move him to the other room, whatever he's in room 1. So if you click on Bill Berry, you have a choice to move him to the other room. So just move him to the other room. Just want you to practice. Okay. So there you got everybody settled. So now I want you all to click on the word options. That's your next thing. This is where you're going to decide how long this breakout room is and your little particulars. And I think I sent all of you all a tip sheet showing you what we do here. So, but we do not allow people to choose a room, so you don't want that checked. We do not allow participants. Somebody open the breakout rooms.
They sure did.
It's that 30-second countdown.
It'll come back in 20 seconds. Here they come.
Had some eager beaver open in those rooms. Thank you. All right. Don't open the room yet. Don't open the room yet. Y'all are so good. I love you. All right. So they're going to close the rooms. We're going to have to go back to recreate. Okay. Because whoever opened that room, that stuck to theirs. Okay. That's okay. All right. So you all should see now some breakout rooms. Room 1, we got Amy, Bill, Christine, Cynthia, Erica, Laura, Lisa, and Tom Hunter. That's okay. Room 2, we got Debbie, Jamie, and Patricia. So I want someone to click on room 1 on that number 8 and remove me from that breakout room. I may have to do it. I don't know. All right. I don't
Lisa,
know. Well, actually, okay. We're going to have to recreate.
I got sent to a breakout room.
I know. All right. Everyone hit the recreate button. We're going to start this again. Don't anybody open. When you open all rooms, you know what happens? That's how you open the breakout rooms. That's a good thing to know. And if you accidentally open the breakout rooms, that's okay. You can close them. That's what I did. All right. Everybody go to recreate. Assign automatically to breakout rooms. All right. Everybody recreate. Now you should go back to my little screen that I love. All right. So go to the number that Margaret Schaff is in and remove her from the meeting. So we're going to take Margaret out, uncheck her. And then I want you all to go to the whatever room that you see Erica Covington Ford in. You move her to the room, move her to another room. Just practicing with that. Nobody hit open all rooms quite yet. Okay. All right. Because you know what that does? It starts them. It's good. All right. So I want us to talk about options. So you've got your room set up. You go to options, click that button. Now,
Lisa, I'm not seeing the option button.
okay, so what do you see?
I see room 1, room 2 with all the participants. I see recreate, add room, and open all rooms.
What about in the lower left-hand corner of that little screen?
I have, okay, it's a little.
I'm sorry, it doesn't say options. It's a little gear shift. I'm sorry. Some people have a little gear shift. Some people have the word options. We discovered that yesterday. I learned that for the first time yesterday, and I should have remembered. Sorry. All right. So you see either options or a gear shift.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
So you click on there. Everybody click on there. And you should see some options. And we do not allow participants to choose a room. We do not allow participants to return the main session at any time. We always check automatically move all assigned participants into the breakout room. We check breakout rooms will close automatically, and we put the time. Everybody put 1 minute. All right, then notify me when time is up. We want that checked, and then count down after closing the breakout room. Man, when we started, we had that countdown at 120 seconds. Lordy Lord, it took forever. We now do 10 seconds. That is plenty of time. So change it to 10 seconds. All right. And Lynette, make sure you're not in a breakout room.
I am not.
All right. I want you to open all rooms. Let it rip.
They're open.
All right. Laura has weak internet. So she may be having, this is, if someone's having issues with their internet, they may not be able to go into a breakout room. So Lynette, you see your little, there she goes. So Lynette, you see you have the opportunity to join. You see that like by room 1 and room 2, instead of a number now, you have join.
Nope, don't have. Oh, now I do if I click on the number.
Okay. Also unassigned. So let's say someone comes in late. You can assign Margaret to one of those rooms. So assign Margaret to a room. All right. She's going to go into a room. There you go. Now you should see a little timer that says, and you can keep those open if you want to. I don't know why Bill is back, are they closing? Oh, say they're closing now. There you go.
Bill, I told her instead of blurring you, just muting your microphone would probably be better.
Okay. All right. Let's hit recreate. Everybody hit recreate and do 2 breakout rooms and hit recreate, assign automatically. And now let's move Bill Berry out of the breakout rooms. And let's move Erica out of the breakout rooms. And let's move Laura Thomas. Well, no, because Laura has her internet's a little slowish. Let's move Cynthia Winbush for whatever room she was in to another. And Debbie, make sure that you are not in a breakout room. And under your options, make sure you got 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's stuck. All right. So Debbie, make sure I'm not in a breakout room. I'm not because I'm a host. All right. So open all rooms. Now, Debbie, Laura has, it's kind of good to have Laura here with her internet that's not as fast as others. So sometimes people lag. when they're going into the breakout room. So you should see now your thing should say red. So if you look on your thing, it says room 1 and room 2. You can join those breakout rooms if you want to and come back. Also, at the top, you see the unassigned. So if someone comes in late, so put Bill Berry in. If you hover over his name, you can hit assign to and assign him to room 1.
Done. He's gone.
And he's going to be gone. And you can broadcast message to all. And so if you have state agency people or USDA people or who don't want to be in a breakout room, that you do that, and then they're all going to close.
Nice. That's the first time I've done breakout rooms. So
I know.
It's like, because I've been on the other end of them.
That's right. That's why we're practicing this, because this is what most people don't do. You know, okay. All right, everybody, let's hit recreate. Hit recreate in 2 breakout rooms. Our options ought to still be 1 minute and 10 seconds. And so, Trish Mouser, let's take Margaret out of a room.
Hang on just a second, Lisa. We asked a question in the other room.
Okay.
And I want to try something. All right. So everybody see the rooms with the people in it right now?
Mm-hmm.
Take a mental picture of where you are. Yep, they changed. So that answers that question.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lisa.
All right. So, who did I say? Whoever I said take out of a room. And then take Tom Hunter out of a room. And Trish, you should have 1 minute. And move Kristen to a different room, whatever room she's not in, move her into another room. And then open the rooms. Cynthia was not assigned. So look at Cynthia. For some reason, she didn't get assigned a room. So Trish, put her in room 1. So you go up to her name, and it says assigned to. Put Cynthia in room 1. I think you put Margaret in room or whoever. That's okay.
I don't know what happened because I'm on her name, but I'm not getting anywhere. So let me go into breakout.
That's right. Laura was slow. Go to unassigned. You should see Cynthia and hit assign to and put her in room 1.
Okay.
And there she goes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you do it. If someone is unassigned or they come in late. So that's a good thing. So you see close all rooms, and you've seen all this before. And if you see the blue thing that says join, that's how you go into a breakout room, and you could come in and out of the breakout room. And so they're closing now.
Now, Lisa, do they know that they're going to have to click that close now button when the pop-up comes up, or it won't close the rooms?
You don't necessarily have to close the room. I mean, I don't know.
No, it's not. I don't think it's going to close the room because we have that pop-up come up until you click it, because we have the option to keep the rooms open to allow them more time. Okay. So in order to get that countdown, you have to click the close room.
We're going to practice that on the next person, because I think they've closed on me before without clicking it. I'm trying to remember. Bill, do you have to hit close the rooms to close the rooms? No, you don't.
Oh,
they
so automatically. It does close them automatically?
Mm-hmm. It does.
At the end of that 10 second countdown,
if you don't keep up, we have an option to keep the room open, and it will close it. You can keep it open longer, but it does automatically close Tom Hunter.
So if you don't click anything, Bill, it just after 10 seconds, it just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, never mind.
It's okay. It's just all right. So, Amy, all right. Hit recreate and assign your 2 rooms. And take Erica out of a room. and Margaret out of a room. And move Debbie into a different room. So like you've done a breakout room and you find that maybe that group didn't interact all that well, you can move that around. And I wanted to say this before we do this. I forgot to talk about this. So when you're trying to decide how many people to put into a breakout room, a lot of our sessions will have 5 or 6 breakout rooms in the activity. We've kind of found since we started doing this, if you get a bunch of people that maybe struggle or don't have videos, or maybe not everybody has a microphone, you kind of want to make those breakout rooms bigger. We typically start out with a group. We rarely put less than 6 people into a breakout room, unless it's a group that you're really confident that they're all going to be able to interact with each other, because you get some poor person in a room and they're the only one with a microphone, they're not getting a lot out of that breakout room. So you may, and especially sometimes people are late. So if you're doing an early breakout room and you've got 3 really big breakout rooms, they might start getting really big. So you can recreate and make 4 breakout rooms. So you have a lot of flexibility with that, but moving people around, so sometimes if you do the breakout rooms and you have time, I'll look to see maybe you got 7 people in your class that have a camera. I always try to have their videos on. I try to kind of spread them around a little bit, just, because figure if people have their cameras on, they're going to be pretty interactive. So, but just because they have their cameras on doesn't mean they're not interactive, but just those kind of things.
Lisa, how far ahead are you and Bill and some of the other education and training specialists building the breakout rooms? I know you can just kind of build them at any time, but how far ahead are you doing the planning?
I start building when I think everybody's pretty much in the meeting. So Bill can chime in. I'll give it a minute. Now we have some trainings where, man, we're putting them in first thing. So that's real busy.
One thing, Jamie, I usually ask the trainer, I'll say, Jamie, how many breakout rooms you want? On your first one, and because if you do it beforehand and then people don't show up,
right. Yeah. Well,
you say do the breakout room so there's 6 in each one.
Or what I typically do is I'll say, Jamie, we think we're going to have 2 breakout rooms because I know how many people are there. I know you wanted 5. So we always let the trainer know we're going to have 3 breakout rooms, or we're going to have 4 breakout rooms. So I've kind of taken over where I just kind of make that up.
Let the trainer know in advance a little bit too.
Right.
I know Trish and I have talked about this before, where she may have planned an activity for 3 or 4 breakout rooms and we only have enough to have 2, then she has a little time to readjust what she's going to do from those 3 or 4 down to 2.
Yeah. And I think that's true too, Lisa, because whenever the trainer is sharing their screen, you're only going to be seeing the participant faces. And so you're really not going to be able to see the whole, everybody who's sharing their video and everything. So I think you could probably see more behind the scenes to get people in better rooms.
And, we're capping these classes at about 40. And then usually you'll get about 20. So some of these, and then Saturday sessions, only Christine, the only one who's really successful at Saturday sessions, that Billy Joe Meehan that has, that makes in Buffalo, New York, you do not get continuing education credit units for virtual training if you don't turn on your video.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Oh my God, it was so wonderful. Chris and Cynthia Winbush trained with them too. It is luxury. They are there, they're interacting. They'll hold up signs that says, I can't see your video. I mean, they were just it was wonderful. But most of the Saturday sessions we've done, except for Bianca Hardy and her CACFP people, they were pretty good. But most of the Saturday sessions, we'll get 30 people to sign up. And I did one a couple of weeks ago. The first, Jamie Stamey and I did one. First session had 2 people. Second session had 4. But you know what? We're one or two together, we do a training. So you can, when you have something that small, when you think about a breakout room, either you want to just do one breakout room if you just want them to get off and their thing, or you can do none. And Christine, I have been telling your story. So when you're talking about joining, as a host and co-host, you have opportunities to join the breakout room if you want to. Please, both of you all don't join a breakout room. And Christine can tell this story better than I can. She was at a training, Washington Department of Education. They are terrific because they provide helpers for the training. Washington does, and Orlando, Florida. And we wish we had more people like that. And can you tell this story about getting trapped in the breakout room?
So I had the host that was there. She had a faulty internet, and somehow I got kicked off. So everyone was in a breakout room, and we both got kicked off. And so we had basically just some random person who was attending got made the host, but everyone was in a breakout room.
Right. And wasn't that person, didn't you tell us that? So sometimes, people will have more than one device.
Yeah. And it was their second device.
It's a fake.
It was a
nobody
fake
was
person.
there.
It wasn't even a person that we could talk to. So I caught back in, but I had no way to get, because I wasn't a co-host, I couldn't get into any of the rooms, and she hadn't set it up for a time to automatically come out. She was just closing rooms. So everyone was stuck in breakout rooms, and we had no way to get them back. And some random non-person was the host. So I had to call the person who organized and set everything up wasn't on, but I had to call, because she'd gotten off and made somebody else the host. I had to call her to go back into their original account and come save us. But it felt like forever to me. Like I was like, these people must be like, why are we in a breakout for like ever? But it really went. I don't think they probably even noticed. Like it like time slows down when you're having a problem. So I think just kind of, like Lisa said, like everyone was fine. No one even said anything, but we were a little panicky for a minute.
But Christine is such a professional, and she's done this so much. She didn't panic. She knew what to do. So anyway, I want to tell that story. Laura, do you have a question? Thank you, Christine. I just love that story. I tell it everywhere I go. Yes, Laura.
I do have a question. When someone gets kicked out of the meeting, or they have to leave for a reason and they rejoin, will we need to reassign them to a breakout room?
Yes. And I'm going to talk to you about that when you have your turn to do a breakout room. I'll show you how to do that. And
thank you.
Who did I call on next to get started on a breakout room? Amy, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. All right. So have you got your room set up and ready to go? All right. Open that room or those rooms. And so, Amy, Laura is slow because she's got weaker internet.
Right.
So, and she asked that question if someone gets knocked off and they're not in a breakout room. So you'll see unassigned. So you see Erica and Margaret. Mm-hmm. So if you go to their name, you should see the word assign to. So you can assign Erica to room 1.
Okay.
And if you want to put Margaret in room 2. All right.
Right.
There you go. So that's how to assign those late people. And then you also see that number to the right of the room. You can join. Yes. And so that way you can come in and out. You're not stuck in a breakout room like everybody else is.
I do have one thing I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it when you get back to the big session. It'll be okay.
You can ask me now when they're coming in though.
About stopping the recording when you go into breakout rooms.
Absolutely.
Because remember we found that kind of out where we found out when you were recording breakout rooms.
Right. And this is good to be recording because we're talking about, the actual breakout rooms. But yes, Amy did bring up, if you are recording, which I never remember to do, you want to stop it during the breakout rooms and then restart it. But you hit pause. You don't hit stop. You hit pause. So it's all in one recording. Y'all shouldn't have to record that much. But that Amy wanted me to talk about that, and that's a good point. Thank you.
Lisa, if they did want to record, then who would send out the link to that recording, and who would we notify of that?
Well, whoever created the meeting will get just send it to whoever your coordinator is, and it's on the cloud, and we can send it. You would just want to let us know their email address. That's a good question. Or we could send it out to everybody in the meeting from our Zoom report.
So would they request the recording? Like if our group meeting said, hey, can we have it recorded, or whoever are we going to have someone from like a state agency or the local, whoever's requested the meeting be part of our trainings?
Not necessarily. Now, the ones y'all are co-hosting right now, I think for the most part, they're being sponsored by us.
Okay.
So now if you have a wonderful site coordinator like Samantha Brisky in Washington State, they help. So they create the meeting and they help. The recording's probably not going to, it's going to be a non-issue, but just in case that came up. All right. Amy did it. Let's see. Cynthia. You want to do a breakout room? You got everything? All right. You're on mute. So you can either leave those or hit recreate. And let's keep Bill. Let's remove Bill from a breakout room and Tom Hunter from a breakout room. And why don't
so I have a question, Lisa. So my options are to move or you to exchange.
I think you need to hit recreate. Hit recreate. Okay. You're going to have to do your own. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And you should have.
Actually, what I learned is that you have to tap the blue button that has the number.
Right.
When the names are displayed, you can click that, and that's how you can get somebody out. It took me a while to figure that out.
Right. Okay. But you have to hit recreate because that room's already done and it won't let you. So
hit recreate.
Hit recreate.
Okay.
You don't do this regularly. This is practicing, so you're all doing your own breakout rooms. All right. So hit recreate, and then you should see room 1 and room 2 with little numbers to the side. And let's remove Tom Hunter from a breakout room.
Okay, so it gives me options of rename, delete, and assign, and then it gives me a drop down of the.
You go all the way to the right, and you should see a blue number.
When I hit that blue number, though, that's what gives me those options: rename, delete, and assign.
Click assign.
Hit assign. Okay. Then it shows me everybody.
Well,
right. And then do you see my name there?
Yep.
Uncheck it.
Can you uncheck it?
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, and take Bill out too.
Take Bill out. Okay. All right, Bill. I'm ready. You. Okay,
all right,
Bill. Yep.
And then make sure on your options or your gear shift, whatever you have, that it has 1 minute, meeting 1 minute, and then 10-second countdown.
Okay. Has that? Then hit what?
And then, I'm sorry.
Options are recreate, add room, or open all rooms.
All right. You have to click the blue options button or the gear shift to get those options to tell you the time.
I have the time. Yes.
Okay.
I have that.
All right. When you see that. All right. Now to open the rooms, to start them, you hit open all rooms.
Okay. Got it.
There you go. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Aha. Birthday twins ruling.
I know.
Cynthia. All right.
Yep.
We were born on the exact same day. All right. So everybody, Cynthia, you should see a box, and at the top you should see the word unassigned.
Yes.
All right. So go to Bill's name. And assign Bill to room 1. That's what you would do if someone came in late.
Okay.
So assign him to room 1.
Okay. Did that.
And then he should be gone.
Yep. He's there.
All right. So if you should see by the room numbers an opportunity, it should say the word join. Does it say? And it may not. Okay. So that if you want to go into a breakout room, that's where you would go. And see, now you should see a little pop-up that says time is up for 1 minute. You can close them early. Say sometimes I've done this before. It was set for 30 minutes and I forgot. I'm like, woo. So, you can close them at any time. Or if you don't like if you accidentally put somebody in there, you can close it that way as well.
Okay. Got it. Sounds good. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Jamie, you ready? You're on mute. Wish I had $1 every time somebody said that to me.
Me too.
Okay. All right.
Hitting recreate 2 rooms, assign automatically.
And let's keep Erica and Margaret. We don't want them in a breakout room.
All right, Erica.
And move Amy to a different room.
Margaret, Amy.
All right.
All right. She's going to room 1.
All right. And make sure options of your time.
We're good. One and open all rooms.
Perfect. And then Jamie, you should see under unassigned. Now, Laura's taking a minute because she's got weak internet.
Right.
So you should be able to see Erica's name.
Right.
Move her to room 2.
Assign to room 2.
Thank you, Margaret and Erica. I hope y'all aren't getting dizzy. And put Margaret in room 1.
All right. See you, Margaret.
All right.
And they just zoom automatically over there, right?
There they go. So it's really not that hard. We've all had such phobia about these breakout rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and especially once you've set them up, they are really, and you should see, and you've probably seen this already, but by room 1 and room 2, you have the word join and you can join them and you can broadcast there you go.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Closing. Folks are coming back. Cool. And then I would just close out this box whenever I'm not using it.
Yes. And that's a good point. So that box, you can close it when you're not using it. And then when you're ready to do a breakout room, you open it back up, and whatever breakout room you created, it will stay stuck into that breakout room. And Christine, do you want to practice? Are you comfortable?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I know how to do it, or I'm happy to practice, but I just wanted to make a comment in case people didn't know that once you've opened them, you also can still reassign people. You can move them between rooms if something isn't the way that you want it to be.
And that's a good point. Sometimes we have found that if someone's really stuck and they don't, usually we give them a few minutes. If, like Laura, it's been good to have you because your internet's a little slower than everybody else. So you take a minute. If someone just doesn't move, sometimes I have reassigned them when the breakout room is open to a different room. And sometimes that pushes them in. Sometimes it knocks them out of the meeting. But you can try that. So, thank you, Christine. Yes, you can move people. I wonder what happens when we do that. We might try that when we're doing it, Christine. Let's move somebody in the middle of a breakout and see what happens. Like if they're in the room and then move them during we'll practice.
Someone will get a special surprise during this one.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to be. All right. So
let me take out.
Yes. Let's take out Bill and Erica.
And Lisa, I've done that when there are 2 devices are not in the same meeting.
Thank you. Sometimes people sign on a couple of devices because their audio doesn't work on there. So try to remember to put them in put both of their devices into the same room. That's going to make your count look funny. You might have 5 in one room and 7 in another because people are on multiple devices. And like you say, Margaret, if you say, ruh-roh, I did that, you can move them. All right.
Are you ready?
Does anyone know if somebody's on 2 devices and you randomly assign, will it keep them together in the same room, or is it?
Nope. We've split people up before.
Yeah, you don't know they're the same person, or the computer doesn't know.
Well, they can't be on 2 devices because we've disabled that.
Well, but they'll call in on their phone and they'll come in on their.
Oh, that's because they didn't enter the participant ID and link their instance of Zoom on the computer and their handset.
I know.
Yeah.
We need Tom Hunter as the bouncer for everything.
In that tutorial, I think when I go over the call-in feature, that's the one thing that I say like 4 or 5 times, put that number in. And there's a way to actually link them for the host or co-host to link them in their video tile. You can link, Zoom somehow knows, and you can link the 2.
Well, maybe we all need to learn that's going to be a co-host training part 2.
Yeah.
This is 101.
101. That's 102.
That'll be one.
I need 102.
Shoot, I need 101. But Tom Hunter has been so patient with us because we do kind of just, we're just living on the edge and so far. But yeah, so sometimes, even though they're not supposed to be on multiple devices, they do get on multiple devices, and we just try to put them in the same breakout room. All right, there you go.
Right. You ready?
Where no secrets are hid. Yes. Let's see, Kristan.
Yeah, we surprised some people.
Let's move. Let's move Jamie because we know she's got good internet.
Oh yeah.
And because I want to know what she thinks.
Oh, there she goes. Yeah. We'll ask her how it feels to just get plunked out.
We're all just
Kristan,
is there anything else I need to tell everybody?
No, you're doing great. You've like totally covered it all.
You are so great.
How are you? Teacher.
How was your vacation?
It was very nice. It was funny though, because we were in Alaska and we all had coats on and hats. Like it was pretty cold there. And then we went to Idaho and it was 106. And then we were in the pool all day. It was like shift of like,
oh my gosh, bodies were in shock. Yes. Oh my goodness. So did you cruise up there or fly or?
We flew up there and then we drove around.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was fun.
That's on my bucket list.
It's nice.
That's on. Oh, good.
All right, Jamie, we want to know how your experience was being changed.
Jamie, Dude, Jamie, we know she's got really good, strong internet. All right. Have I left anyone off? Has everybody practiced? Okay.
I have not.
Oh, sorry, Laura. I had you down and I had your name down and I can't remember if it was because you'd already done it or you hadn't done it. All right. So Laura, let's go. Now, Laura has a little bit of sketchy internet. So we're going to see how well this works for her.
I'm going to take Margaret out of a room.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Tom Hunter out of a room.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to move Erica to a different room.
Okay.
I am double checking 1 minute and 10 seconds and see y'all on the other side.
That's good. That's good policy to check that time every time because it changes up.
Okay.
Oh, that went fast, Laura.
Here we are.
I know.
Yeah, I can't always tell if it's going to. I get your internet connection is unstable message, but I'm hard connected to my mom's router, but it's a satellite connection, and so it's always hard to know how quickly
and Laura,
it's going.
If we have a storm or something, sometimes I'll get that message. So it's not. I mean, don't worry about it if it's working,
Yeah, it's just.
And Laura, you see where you have the opportunity to join those rooms. If you go to the side of the room number when they're open, you
Yes.
can join. Now, if I were you on that internet, I wouldn't join. So it might knock you out of the building.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So there are fires all around you right now.
Coming back.
Okay.
Right across this, I can show you guys the smoke if you want to see it.
Oh, that's awful.
The helicopters are dropping water again.
Really?
It is. It's a little disconcerting, but not borrowing trouble yet.
No, well, all of y'all in the path of those are in my prayers. I just think that talking about the fires, Laura's in some smoke and their helicopters dropping water. So
wow. You know, whenever I was flying to South Dakota this week, up in the air, there is just this dark brown layer, just a perfect parallel or horizontal layer of smoke all the way to South Dakota that you can see. It's crazy.
All right. So we have practiced, I think, everything that you all would be doing. Does anyone have any questions or want to do anything again? Y'all, I think Erica and Bill and Margaret and Tom Hunter would agree. I think y'all are our most advanced class.
Yes, indeed.
So my friend Marilyn Moody says, raise your hand and pat yourself on the back. All right. Okay. Well,
I do have one quick question, Lisa.
Sure.
This has to do with annotate.
Okay.
Is there ever a time when people get a little crazy on annotate after the activity, and do you ever turn off that option if it gets to that point?
No one has gotten crazy yet, but if you feel like you want to turn that off, you certainly can. When we were first doing this, Cynthia Winbush, I think it was your first training. We didn't know what we were doing.
It was funny.
We were so afraid of annotate. That was like we didn't do annotate. We were scared to death. People just go crazy and do all kinds of things on annotate. And Cynthia's presentation going, they're just lines. And so we're like, somebody is sabotaging Cynthia's screen. Gosh, we've just been through everything. So anyway, I think we got Tom Hunter involved because we didn't know. Bill, were you on that one? I can't remember.
I think I was.
I think we're texting each other. I think Bill said, do you see it was not huge. It was somebody's used a real fine point. And it was little tiny lines, and it was so Bill texted me, said, what's up with this? I can't even talk about that laughing. And we're like texting or Cynthia, she says, Miss, I think sabotaging my presentation. And it was an annotated. I don't know which one of us had it on, but we were strong. But wait, Tom Hunter disabled it. So yeah. And nobody died. And we really got a good laugh.
Very first version.
That was her very first. Now, this has happened a couple of times. If you have these earphones, sometimes people will lose their sound. And when someone says, I can't hear anything, my first reaction, I start talking and trying to help them, but they can't hear me. So they're just talking away. So when that happens, that's happened to me. Typically, it's this little thingamajig because, it's right here where you sit or you kick it or anything. So if that happens to you and you're using headphones, check that first. That might have been Cynthia's second train. And then we don't know how to do anything. We don't know how to do anything, but it was at the end of the training, and we were at the pre and post assessment, and she just logged off, and the training was finished, and nobody died, and we got a good laugh out of it. So that's my new, if you haven't noticed, that's my new catchphrase because we've been doing this, and it's been so much fun.
Quick question, Lisa.
Uh-huh.
If participants have tech issues, I've got this much knowledge, but there's some great little things that, little behind the scenes fixes that Tom Hunter and other people have done with some of the participants that have been having issues. How do we help them if they're having some tech issues?
So pretty simply, because a lot of times on a Saturday, I never have Tom Hunter. And so typically, if they're having issues with their video or they can't see, I'm gonna let you be more technical in a minute, Tom Hunter. I'm gonna tell you what I do as the non-tech person. You direct them to that little to the settings on the video or on the mute, and make sure that those settings match what they're actually using. Sometimes when they're just having these weird issues, I invite them to log off and get back on, and 99% of the time that's fixed it.
Okay.
Tom Hunter, you can elaborate on much better technology than I just offered.
That was pretty much what I was going to say, Lisa. 99% of the time when somebody's having issues, the first thing I say is restart. Restart your computer and come back in. 99% of the time, that's always the answer. Now, as far as Zoom goes, the second answer is going to be go update your Zoom client. That's going to be answer number 2. The third answer, when someone is dealing with technical difficulties, whether it be microphone or being able to hear, is go down to the mute and unmute button in the lower left-hand corner, click the up arrow, and click test speaker and microphone. Now, Zoom is good enough to take them through that test and help them out without being too technical, and it'll solve their problem for them, more than likely. Those are the top 3 things.
Okay. And Jamie, if it's not real severe, you just say, put it in the chat, because you can take up a lot of training time. And they're not tech, we're not very tech if Tom Hunter's not on. And pretty soon you've wasted 10, 15 minutes, and the training's only a 2-hour training. So a lot of times we just say, put your questions in the chat.
Right. And if they can't interact with a mic, if they can't unmute themselves or they can't see the annotate, we invite them to use the chat box. And I'm sympathetic and say, I'm very sorry, and give them a couple of those things. If it still doesn't work, are you okay using the chat box? And they'll say, yeah. And so most of the time, and we don't get many negative comments about tech issues on our evaluations. It's actually, I just can't believe how well these have gone. I just can't believe it. And I can't believe it because, I can because y'all are so good, but man, these participants, they get on and they're just willing. And when we first started, our trainings were directed to cooks and food service assistants, and the bravery that they had to get on. We had a participant, Bill, I can't even remember her name. You probably can. The first time she got on, she had her adult son right here with her, helping her with all the tech things. And she couldn't access any of the evaluations or the pre or post assessments. She didn't know how to interact. And the first time, she couldn't even figure out how to leave the meeting. And we talked to her, and I can't remember which one of y'all maybe, and she got real emotional and kind of started crying. She was but you know what? She came back and she came back and she came back, and she ended up being one of our chattier participants. And stuff like that, whatever work we've put into it, it just makes it all worth it. And, at the end of the day, we want to provide the same hospitality in a virtual meeting that we do when people come to ICN, except for the bread pudding. And we want them, as long as they feel comfortable, and, it's okay if you're on your phone, it's okay, as long you can interact however you're the most comfortable interacting. And if just patient with them, I think that, it's just gone really well. And if someone just doesn't like it, they can leave, but people don't leave. And when they get knocked off, they come back. Because I think if I wasn't enjoying something, I'd just say, oh, I got knocked off the meeting. But they come, for the most part, come back. So anyway, Trish, you got your hand raised.
Yes,
turn.
this is kind of a basic question, but I know with workplace safety, we only have 3 handouts to post in the chat. And I think I understood how to do that. I go into my file and, click on participants, everyone, the sheet of paper.
Mhm.
But we have some, I'm thinking
KPI that has like, right.
that have like 30. How do you organize those? Because you can only do one sheet at a time, right?
So for KPI,
Right.
that has 600 sheets, I believe. That's a lot. They are alphabetized. They're listed alphabetically on my desktop. I have my folder and I just have them all, and they're listed alphabetically. And I have those moderator notes. And when it says paste, whatever that document is, I go to my alphabetical listing and I try to match the name, matching the name to what the document is called, and paste that. And I go to that alphabetical list and grab SMART goals or grab.
And Trish, if it's all in the folder, when you hit file the second time, it kind of does like what your computer usually does. It goes to that folder.
It'll go to that folder. And Lynette wanted to know, she wants to do some extra time with pasting documents, and I'm happy to stay on and help you with that. Does anyone else have any questions? All right. You know how to get a hold of me.
I do have a question. How hard is it to paste the QR codes for the evaluation and that? Is it just a simple kind of the same thing? You just copy the link and put it in?
You cut it's just a cut and paste, Laura. So if you've got it on a Word document, and we'll send you the QR codes. You don't paste the QR code into the chat box. You paste the link.
It's the link.
It's the trainer showing the QR code. We just offer the link as an option if they can't read the QR code. You know what? Tell you a secret. Yeah, don't put the link in. Nobody's going to die. It's okay. It's just, it is okay. We want to get as many people to use that link as possible. But if you don't, just, it's not a ditch to die in.
It is, because I'm normally downloading the code and I've never really paid attention. I know I'm doing it off of a link, I think. So it's just copy the link and paste it in.
You copy, you just cut and paste. It's just like any kind of cut and paste. You just cut it, paste it into the chat and hit return, and it'll show up in the chat. And if you want to practice that, Laura, I'm here. You can practice putting things into the chat box.
I'm good with putting things. I just wanted to make sure I knew how to do the QR code, and it is still the link.
Well, don't call it a QR code. The QR code is not anything you're going to put in the link. The QR code
is that a link?
Yeah. We offer them. The link and the QR code are the same thing. So, all right. If anyone wants to stay and practice anything else, you can. And if you want to leave and start your weekend, TGIF, thank you for everything. Y'all are all so awesome.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Y'all have a great weekend.
Y'all too.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Stay safe, Laura. We're going to we didn't do it over the 4th of July. We're going to go to the Grammy Museum.
Oh, how fun.
In Cleveland. There are 2 Grammy museums in the United States, LA, and then there is a Grammy Museum at Delta State in Cleveland, Mississippi. So I know. So have you been, Erica? Well, I'll tell you about it.
I haven't.
I'm excited
about that one.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, Lynette. So
I need to post a link.
You want to post? Are you talking about posting a link or a document?
No, a document. I know how to do the whole. No, I know how to do that whole thing, the whole document. I just want to post a link.
All right, posting a link. So, do you have anything do you have a Word document or anything with a link on it? I think I can, let me post that workplace safety thing that I sent to you.
Okay.
But if you don't have that, hang on, let me I remember where I have it. All right. So
I guess my first question is, how do I, you send out the link, I got your email, I have the links on the PowerPoint you sent out. But how do I, as a co-host, how do I access that? When I hit the folder, I can get to my documents. So do I just put it in my documents and then just cut and paste?
That's what I do. So wherever I keep it on my desktop. So that workplace, for instance, my moderator notes. So let me show you. Let me see if I can. And Erica, you may have a different way that you do things. So hang on before I want to do something real quick. Hang on. All right. So for instance, all right, Lynette, can you see my screen? And I have a whole bunch of folders, my crazy desktop. So I have something here called built handouts. So I click on there and can you see the next folder? And I have, so let's do, you're familiar with you would be doing forecasting the procurement of food. So, all right. Actually, I don't have my full moderator notes there. Because I moved them to a different folder because they've been updated. So let me do another. I'm going to do workplace safety. Okay. I've been cleaning out these folders, but typically, so when I'm getting ready, you can see the different types of trainings that we co-host. I have folders and I've emptied them all out because I was doing I was trying to do an inventory, but I do have workplace safety. So for workplace safety, actually, that I accidentally don't ignore that health and personal hygiene. I was moving videos around and accidentally put it in there. So in this, I have the documents I'm going to post, and then I have the moderator notes.
Right.
So I have that folder, so I pull them up, and I don't know if I move them. Can you see my moderator notes now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. So in the notes, right. So paste the following information into the chat box. So when it says that's a link, and I paste the whole thing, free resources from the ICN website. So I select it. I hit copy, then that's my Control C. That's how I do it. And then I just put my cursor into the chat box and click it in and hit return, and it will pop.
So it's just like copy and paste.
Copy and paste. It is so easy. Don't make it hard. It's just I copy and paste, and then so I take.
And you got it from clicking onto you got that little piece of paper, or you hit your computer.
See what I just put in?
It opens up that document. So
now that's so I keep that document open, and then I just cut and paste. This is how I do it. That keeps me from having to type every time. Got to type the website in every time. I keep, when we were first doing it. And then if like someone talks about a website, and Erica's done this too, if somebody brings up something or has a question about something, if I'm sitting in the background and it's about a website, I'll look it up and I'll find that website and put it in the chat box. You can copy and paste anything into the chat box.
So I don't even have to copy and paste. I just clicked on it, and now you got my training documents. Do you see that in the chat box? In your chat box?
Right.
So I didn't even have to copy and paste. I just had
to but you don't want to put your moderator notes into that chat box.
Well, I just pretend like that was the link, because I haven't accessed.
Now there's a difference in pasting a link into the chat box and pasting a document into the chat box. So we do a lot more pasting of links, and you just pasted a document into
Yes.
the chat box.
And that won't help them.
No, you want to actually paste the link. So if you'll go to your document that you just pasted, pull it up.
Yep.
All right. So there at the top where it says free resources from ICN's website with the select that and copy it.
So what am I looking for again?
All right. You're on the moderator notes. Can you see them on your computer?
I'm going to have to pull them up.
Yeah. You need to pull them up.
I'm looking for them.
Now, where'd you get them to post them into the chat box?
Oh, you mean my other thing? That was just for my documents
Okay.
because I
All
didn't
right.
save your stuff into the documents.
All right. I'm going to paste this into, let's see. Hang on. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
Well, anyway, just, that's where you get, if you have anything with the links, find it. I don't have it in any kind of alphabetical order.
Are we just showing how to paste any link, or is she looking for a specific one?
I
I'm
was
looking
just
for
trying
any-
to show her those moderator notes that I had. She wanted to see how that was. Uh-oh, it's not letting the moderator notes in there because it is currently in use. Haha, because I
Look,
have it open.
Lynette,
right,
do you know how to copy and paste a link from
Any
from
kind of
another s-
document.
from any source?
Yeah.
All
So it's
right.
the same thing?
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing.
Just
Let me-
copy. Why don't you copy and paste any document that you have open right now? Copy and paste that into the chat box. And any link that you have, if it's the full link, it should be a live link. Go ahead, Tom Hunter. I interrupted you.
Okay, so I've got it up now, so I just copy. Whoops, I just want to copy one part of it.
Mhm.
Edit, copy, edit, paste, or just click.
Hit the paste and then hit return. Make sure it's in the chat box and then hit return. Or click it with your mouse.
Paste. Did I get it there? Yeah, I did.
Then
Okay.
hit enter on the keyboard.
You have to hit enter on the keyboard. There you go.
Okay,
He must
so
be
just,
sending it to you, Lisa, because I can't.
oh,
It is-
because I,
it-
that's
she is
because
sending it to me. Now do it again, and this time send it to
Okay.
everyone.
but now, oh, I bet you I wonder if I cut because it's gone now. I'll find another chat.
Or if if you hit Control V, the last thing you copied, if you put your cursor into that chat box and hit Control V, it should paste it again.
Well, I
There you
sent
go.
you a
There you
different
go.
one.
Perfect.
Okay, so I just copy,
Mhm.
edit, copy, go to the
Okay.
chat room, edit, paste, enter.
Enter. Mhm.
Okay, got it. Not that difficult.
No, it is if you don't do it all the time. It is
Oh.
if you don't. Erica and I've done it. How many hundreds? 100 with an S of times. So be patient with yourself.
So my problem is I just have to get myself organized so I have everything in the right spot.
Your mise en place.
Yes, yeah.
You want your spices right there.
Yes,
You don't
yes,
have to run
everything's
across
right
the
there.
kitchen and get that whipping
Everything's
cream.
right there.
That's right.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynette.
I I think I can do it now.
You're going to be great. You're going to be great.
So admitting participants is easy. Monitoring the chat room is easy. Responding to issues is easy. Managing the breakout rooms easy. The hardest things for me is going to be posting the links.
Yeah. And if you don't do it, it's okay. It's
And
okay.
posting documents are easy.
That is just the lanyard that we provide as
Yeah.
co-hosts, or those nice links and everything.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend. Thank you,
You
Bill.
too.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Bye, Tom.
See ya. Lisa, I have a
Bye,
question for you.
Erica.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Sure. I've stopped the recording. Have I stopped the recording? I'm not
No.
recording.
You are recording.
All right. Let me stop it.